Warning! Spoilers! Jujutsu Kaisen is set in a world where cursed spirits, or curse, feed on unsuspecting humans. There is a legendary demon called Ryomen Sukuna, who has his fragments scattered about. If any curse consumes Sukuna's parts, the power they gain could destroy the world. So, it's basically like Inuyasha, but instead of fragments of the Shikon jewel, it's the dried fingers of an ancient demon. And instead of a million or so jewel pieces to be gathered, it's just 20 fingers. So yay! The end is in sight. So, our main protagonist is Itadori Yuji. He is a cheerful boy who has plot armor athletic skills even before the power-up. But instead of joining any sports club to take advantage of his abilities, he chose to join an occult club for their flexible schedule in order to be able to visit his dying grandpa, who's also a gruff tsundere. But as tsundere as he may be, it doesn't deter him from monologuing motivational advices before passing on. You know, anime really likes to evoke emotions right before imminent death. Our suspension of disbelief is stretched thin, as most of us know that dying heroes with literal holes on their body wouldn't logically have the energy to convey the obligatory long last words. Though, when done well, let's say all the red on my eyes are just my eyelids lifting 5 pounds of eyeshadow for a workout, hence the tear sweat. Anyways, not long after Grandpa's passing, there's this dude with the hair equivalent of an electrified sea urchin who appeared. His name is Megumi Fushiguro, and he tracks down a mourning Yuji to get one of Sukuna's cursed fingers that he sensed on him. Turns out, his occult members found it casually and is trying to remove the ancient seal for funsies. Always a smart move from the cannon fodders. Unsurprisingly, their action attracts curses who attacks them. Megumi fights it using his Shikigami summoning ability and is overwhelmed with Yuji not being able to do anything because only cursed energy can hurt curses. So Yuji, motivated by Grandpa's dying words, chose to gain cursed energy on his own by channeling his inner shonen recklessness and proceeds to swallow the dried, wrinkly, highly biohazard germ-covered piece of ancient limb without hesitation. Hannibal Lecter would certainly complain about the lack of any culinary finesse. Should have added some fava beans and Chianti there, Yuji. Thanks to plot armor, instead of dying, Yuji lucked out from a 1 in a million chance and gets possessed by Sukuna himself, who easily destroys the curse. But Yuji easily suppresses Sukuna's possession, even looking like a YouTuber talking to themselves in a skit. But since he has technically become a curse, Megumi prepares to exorcise him. But before Megumi did anything drastic, his teacher, Gojo Satoru, appeared. He's like a reverse Kakashi but with a lot more carefree attitude and less daddy issues. So he casually asked Yuji to release control and let him fight Sukuna for 10 seconds, purely for flexing purposes. And it's beautiful! The resulting collateral damage is definitely going to make a lot of students happy. Gojo then knocks Yuji out and Megumi expresses his personal wish to keep Yuji alive, which is very sweet of him. When Yuji wakes, Gojo then explains a bunch of exposition. Basically, Sukuna is a 4-armed ex-human curse who lived thousands of years ago, but his remains, the 20 fingers, can't be destroyed. So as time goes on, the risk of Sukuna being more powerful increases. And this is where Yuji comes in. As a vessel capable of subduing a powerful curse, he could eat all 20 fingers, and when he naturally dies, or forcefully made past tense, Sukuna will die with him. Yay? After the whole debacle's done, Yuji is enrolled into Tokyo Metropolitan Magic Technical College, or in short, Jujutsu Tech. Basically a Hogwarts equivalent for ninja sorcerers. But he has to pass a motivation and beatdown test from a gangster principal who makes cute dolls. There, Yuji's resolve strengthens after he wrestles the principal's very punchable dog-faced jelly bean, which of course he won. Finally, the third member of our core trio is introduced when Yuji is to accompany Nobara Kugisaki, an eccentric countryside exorcist who uses nails, hammer, and voodoo straw dolls as a weapon on a field test against a curse to determine how crazy she is, which she absolutely is. Gojo's word, not mine. So, in the next arc, The 3 junior exorcists got tasked to rescue survivors from a special grade cursed womb called a finger bearer. It became a special grade due to bearing one of Sukuna's uber duper OP fingers. However, the spirit that dresses like someone from a JoJo reference overpowers them easily. Thus, Yuji was forced to switch to Sukuna, and he literally wipes the floor with it, taking back the finger. Honestly, Sukuna is starting to be a pretty likable antagonist. Or is it semi? I don't even know. He's snarky, cheekily self-aware, and prone to puns, which is definitely worth extra points. Anyways, turns out Yuji is unable to recontrol his body, resulting in Sukuna ripping Yuji's heart out as hostage. And in the end, Yuji died. But this happened in episode 5, so I'm sure he'll be alright. Meanwhile, Nobara and Megumi bond over the mourning of Yuji. And then they are offered to join Kyoto Tokyo branch exchange event, which is basically a Jujutsu tournament arc. So, this is part 1. Part 2 will be out next week. Probably, hopefully.